This one's big. This is really big. Well, maybe you don't think it's big.
A better you starts today.
I think it is really big, though. I'll tell you why. I was in a meeting recently, and I can't go into the details of the meeting. I was thinking about revealing it then, but I really can't go into the details of that meeting because I'm a very important person, and this is the first meeting that I've had in 6 months. Anyway, point is, I was in there. It was one of those fancy offices. We were talking about the increased crime rates in the youth, and they were talking about the fact that there is this very prevalent trend that the young'uns are up to of bloody stealing cars and then showing it on TikTok. Bragging about it. Yeah, bro, I got a Datsun lad. That's a shit car. Oh, That seems to be the cultural indicator, and I do use that word very deliberately, and you'll see why in a second. Ooh, stay tuned. But first you have to listen to my Patreon ad. Nah, wait until later. Nah, actually, you. You listen to it now. You sign up, you get 3 videos a week from Jordan Shanks that are exclusive videos that set you apart from everybody else because it is the best self-help tips, the best guidance for the cheapest possible price ever. It's a few dollars to invest in yourself, and I can guarantee you this. Huge returns! Way better returns on the stock market because not only are you getting financial gains, you're getting spiritual gains, health gains. You're getting it all. And it is, honestly, find something that is cheaper. I dare you. Look, just pretend I'm a bum and throw me a couple of bucks a week. Basically am anyway. Those legal trials weren't exactly lucrative for me. So, that's the first point. The other one is I think that you should just sign up for a free membership because if you do, I give you exercises every single day that you can complete for free. Just sign up to the free membership. Little exercise. Asking yourself a question. Why? Because the entire point of self-help is knowing thyself. The more that you know yourself, the more that you can change the bits that you like, accentuate the bits, change the bits that you don't like, accentuate the bits that you do like. So, let's get into the main point. Why are all these little rapscallion hood rats stealing shit? Well, one reason is that they're lads, but the other thing is, it's cool to be a lad now. This is a very interesting tidbit of Australian history. You ready for it? Shut up! You didn't expect you were going to get an Australian history video. There is no way you would click on this video if I was like, oh, here's an interesting thing about New South Wales, specific suburbs in New South Wales. But then again, that's all friendly Geordies here, so maybe you like that for whatever reason. From WA. Here is the rundown. Australian culture generally permeates out of the western suburbs. And the more dero and shit the western suburbs gets, and it does, the worse it becomes. And so we get to the point that the new wave of Australiana, in the 80s, what was it? Yeah, shrimp on a barbie. Even though we don't use the word shrimp, whatever. It was briefly popular in the 80s for America, and we're sticking by it. Beers. Shit cars. Oh, are you a Ford man? Are you triggered by that Ford man? I would be. But that is what was that case, yeah? And then you go, I don't know, a little bit further, and then it was just about like, I don't know, like the footy. And so that was that one trade. And then you have Spanian coming out and being like, I am the new wave of culture. And like, dude, I love Spanian, but regrettably that is the case. Because really, what is at the core of lad culture? Think about it. This is a very interesting point. Why are they wearing the tennis racket hats? Why are they wearing the polo shirts? Why are they wearing the shoes? Why? Because it's about theft. This is what's happening in that other state that isn't where I live. Queensland. That's the one. Lest we forget the Queen. Why is there that crime wave there? What, do you think it was because of like Anastasia Palaszczuk's terrible mismanagement of this one bureaucratic wing, even though she has stellar records in every single one of those fields and has upped cops by 2,000 with the tough on crime cop party, the Libs, only up to by 800 cops. They have radically increased the enforcement capacity of police. They have radically increased crime retention recidivity programs, all of that. Like, they've done the hippie stuff and they've done the cowboy stuff, all of it. They've done every recommendation and it still climbs. Why? Because it is cultural. You cannot fight culture. Why, in the middle of Sydney, is there a Catholic church? We're an Anglican country, damn it. What are these Micks doing on the damn grass? Tell you what, on Success Island, they're not allowed there. And the Jews. So that was what's happening, right? So, like, pretty much, like, you come to Australia, and there is a Catholic church right in the middle of Sydney, right, with the best view of the harbour ever. It's a beautiful church. I love it. But why is there a Catholic church there and not an Anglican church? Because there's all Irish scum that was coming down here, and obviously, when the soldiers came, they realised, looking at all these gruff Irish redheads, you're a long way from home, boy. Long way away from reinforcements. They also needed them, and so there had to be this sort of equivocating bargaining. And so there is this Catholic streak throughout a country that is, like, through its laws, very Anglican, through its institutions, quite Anglican, but the culture kind of stems more from, like, a Catholic origin. You see where I'm going with this? Your culture is the operating system of society. Culture is the operating system of society. I want you to write that down because this is a crucial point. So, when it comes to lads, the culture, what gives them status is hawking shit from fucking Myer. That is the reason that they dress like that to this very day. It's just about, like, going into, like, yeah, Paul's warehouse, bruh. Fuck you, Paul. I got your shoes, lad. That's the whole point of that culture. Racking, stealing, crime. It's like you can see their little ratty minds go up when they go like, oh, this and that, bruh, which always just means what? Crime. Everything is just around theft, thievery, which is no wonder why it sprung out of Australia, land of convicts. But I thought that we were going in a good direction by, here's the Australian culture, sitting around and doing fuck all in front of a barbecue. Yeah. That was a way that we were moving towards. My point being, there is obviously going to be microcultures that you're a part of. Here's where it gets interesting. You are being guided by your operating system right now, and you are completely unaware of it. You know the old phrase, it's like a fish in water, doesn't even know what water is. That's culture to you. You have no idea. Do you ever get that feeling when you go overseas, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, I do say mate. What? You don't even notice. You don't even notice how annoying and nasal your voice is. You don't even understand. I was in Japan recently. Can I get some sushi, please? That's what I started sounding like to myself. I was like, no wonder they all think that we do sound like that. What the hell? Have you ever had that experience before? It's because you are a fish now on land going like... It happens to everybody. My question to you is, and we're not even talking about the general culture, I want you to go more into a microculture. I want you to think about your office. Because here's something that I've noticed after years and years and years of being by myself, slowly but surely going insane. As soon as I am out of this self-imposed prison that is my life, and I am supposed to go into a corporate setting like I was today, I can't interact with these people. The closest that I can interact with, obviously, is politicians, because I sit there and I'm, like, vicariously kind of just perving off them. That is my version of watching a Twitch stream. I'm sitting there watching Question Time, and like, good one, Bowen. I wish I was French with you, right? Like, so that is sort of like the culture that I'm around. And politicians act in a different way to, say, businessmen. And businessmen in social media companies act very differently to businessmen in consultancy companies. There is little different microcultures. There is behaviors and mannerisms that you are not... Have you ever noticed this? When you go into something that is like a little bit different to what you are. So, I'm not a suit. When I go and interact with suits, I notice and pick up very quickly there's a bunch of customs and micro communication that is happening that I can see, but I don't speak the language. It's like when you go overseas and you sort of speak Spanish, but when someone's like, ¿Qué es Manono? You're just like, ¿Qué es? F it. Where's the Woolies? You sort of can see it happening, but it's not natural to you. It's not happening. So it's like you're going into water that is of a different pH level, if I'm to continue this aquarium analogy, which I'm sure is extremely prevalent to everybody's life watching this right now. I want you to do the impossible. It's an interesting challenge. What is your culture? What is it? What are the things that it builds its status? What are the things that it values? Why are you dressing the way that you're dressing? What are the words that you're using? Because here's something that's incredibly interesting, and this is why you see so many of these books that are written about, like, creating the greatest work culture ever. Like, why are they doing that? Because culture is an operating system. It's how you naturally behave. Give you another quick example of the overseas stuff. Here, how do we start our days? Wheat bix, yeah. I don't know, maybe you might have some muesli. If you're a little healthier, you might have bacon and eggs, whatever. If you go over to, like, Dubai, how are they starting their days? With, like, bread, cheese, dates, goofs, but very small goofs, very small goofies. That's how they're starting their day. What are they doing in Japan? Eating fucking raw fish like the fucking weirdos they are. That's what's happening in these places. But this is just automatic. And when you see another culture, because, like, don't you think that when you hear that and you're like, bread and cheese? Ugh. First thing in the morning? There's something a bit weird about it. It's a bit alien. It's a bit foreign to you. The thing is that this is creating this natural relatability. If you're trying to sell a product or something like that, you really should be thinking about the culture that it's supposed to be hitting. This is when you get these cultural phenomenons. It really is something like Apple, for instance, really understood. We're going for that smug dickhead hipster thing that I am obviously a part of as well. But like I'm a professional, I'm cool, like I sort of care about the environment, not enough to actually like not take flights anymore, but I'll pay for the offset. Like it's that type of person. So that is what we are aiming for now. What is the culture that is most natural to you? I want you to get more specific than just like Australian. Think about it more. Like, what are some aspects that make you you? What are the things that are seen as like, oh, that's f***ing mad in your culture? What are the values? Really, I'm asking you to think like a comedian. A very, very successful comedians every time. What do? It's just like, black guys, they drive like this. And white guys, they drive like this. That's all they're doing. They're just pointing out cultural totem poles. But like, this is super important. If you can hack the computer programming of society, you are able to do incredible things. So please spend 20 minutes doing that. And sign up to my Patreon so I can give you more tips. More tips that are more personal and that are going to make you stretch. Stretch everything, especially your vagina if you're a woman. I really want that to be as loose as a hot dog haul, and that is what's going to happen if you sign up to Jordan Shanks. You get up to 3 extra videos. 3 extra videos a week. Yelling at you, striving for you to be better. And I do need to stress this, sign up for free, for Christ's sakes, if you don't have any pennies at all, because I still give you exercises every single day. Exercises of what I want you to do, to write down so that you understand yourself better and that you can set goals for yourself better and you're accountable to yourself. There.